sold-out crowd is on its feet here in St. Louis, Missouri. Michael Cole, here with Taz at ringside.
I'll tell you, Cole, these WWE fans are so fired up, I'm having a hard time staying in my seat.
I'm with you on that, partner. We've got a great show here tonight for these St. Louis fans, and I can't wait to get started.
This is never, ever going to work, not in a million years.
I hate to say it, but I think you're right, Taz.
And there's the counter, Cole. These superstars give everything they got when they're in a match like this. But a lot of people don't realize what they sacrifice behind the scenes also.
No question. If you want to make it in the WWE, you've got to sacrifice just about everything for your career. It has to be as important to you as anything else in your life.
Cole, what you got to realize, to make it in the WWE, this is not a job. This is There's the reversal, Cole.
I knew it was only a matter of time before we saw that. I don't like it, but as long as it wins matches, it's going to keep happening.
That's the bottom line, Cole. If you're not doing everything you can to win, then you're in the wrong game.
Nice reversal.
Man, I don't envy that ref. You know, the last place I'd want to be is... Wow, great reversal. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
I just think it's unfortunate whenever a superstar decides to cheat to win rather than compete fairly. Great reversal.
Well, I think, oh man, this is just about the last hole you want to find yourself in.
I can imagine. Just look at the pressure being applied here.
You know, I know I say this a lot, Cole, but this is not ballet. You step between those ropes, you better be prepared to take some punishment. You feel like a real jerk when somebody counters you like that. These superstars are showing some great...
What a submission maneuver! You must be familiar with this one, Taz.
Yeah, I've been on both sides of it, Cole. That's the truth. And let me tell you, it's better to give than receive.
What a reversal! The pride in the hearts of these competitors. And here we go with the submission hold. This could be a pivotal moment in this match.
It sure could. There's a lot of pressure being applied in that hold, Cole.
The adrenaline is pumping. The crowd is coming alive. This is what they came to see.
Hey, Cole, you know what? Try to restrain yourself a little bit, okay? You're supposed to be calling this bad boy right down the middle.
And there's the reversal. This superstar is all fired up. And so is this capacity crowd.
Yeah, well, tell you what. One mistake and we're going to see that fire go out pronto.
What a deadly submission hold this is. We might see a tap out right here.
It wouldn't surprise me one bit. The longer you stay in this, the more risk you have for serious injury. I think it's only a matter of time before we see a submission.
That would certainly be the smart move to make. And there's the submission hold. What a deadly maneuver this is.
You're not kidding, Cole. That was a textbook reversal.
I certainly don't envy the referee in this match.
No kidding. No matter what call you make, you're going to get on the bad side of at least one superstar.
And that's about the last place you want to be if you're not a superstar yourself. Trust me, I know.
Wow, look at that submission. I ain't never seen it executed better.
Neither have I, partner, and this might be enough to get the tap out right here.
I'll tell you, Cole, this is what the WWE is all about.
You're absolutely right, Taz. The greatest athletes in the world competing on the grandest stage of them all.
There's the submission hold. I've seen a lot of superstars tap out to this one, Cole.
You and me both, partner, and we might be about to see another one right here. What a counter that was!
This is completely off the hook, Cole.
We were expecting a solid match from these superstars, but this is even better than I'd hoped.
You know, we've seen some pretty good back and forth action here, but you don't see too many matches end that way.
No, you don't. And I think we'll see... Oh, my! The submission hold is locked in!
And this ain't easy to get out of either, Cole. Nice quick counter. I've been locked in this hold before, and it hurts even worse than it looks.
I can't even imagine the amount of pain that this hold must inflict on any superstar who winds up in it. We've seen an excellent match so far, and it's not over yet.
Not by a long shot, Cole, and that's a good thing. I don't think we could ever get sick of watching these superstars.
Submission hold locked in. We may see a tap out right here.
And even if you can't make your opponent tap out, this will take a lot of fight out of him.
Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
That's the law of the jungle, Cole. And injured superstars like a wounded animal. It's survival of the fittest.
And that also means that if you're not at 100%, you've got to be able to hide it from your opponent.
You got that right, Cole. This business is as psychological as it is physical. You can't let your opponent think you're easy pickings.
Well, I wouldn't consider any of these superstars to be easy pickings, no matter how beaten up they get.
Man, I'll tell you what, man, this one's just turned into a fight, pure and simple.
We knew it was going to be intense. We knew it was going to be physical. But I don't think anyone was prepared for this.
I gotta admit, it kind of took me by surprise, Cole. And that don't happen too often.
That's an understatement. You've been in hundreds of matches in your career. We both called hundreds more. We usually have a pretty good idea of what to expect, but not this time.
I guess it just goes to show you, Cole, like they say, anything can happen here in the WWE. These superstars are on top of their game, but only one of them is going to have their hand raised at the end of this one.
And that's a real shame because, like you said, this has been a great match so far.
Well, what do you want, Cole? You want to say that everyone wins so nobody gets their feelings hurt?
I never said that. I'm just saying that in a great match like this, everyone involved deserves credit for it.
This is one heck of a match so far.
It sure is, Taz. What do you think the highlight has been so far?
Well, that'll probably come a little bit later on in the match, when you decide to shut your yap for a few seconds, and I can enjoy it in peace.
Well, excuse me for doing my job, partner. Sorry to have disturbed you.
Man, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears shed in that ring over the years.
And if these superstars have their way, there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight.
And I think these superstars are going to keep it up until they've got literally nothing left to give.
And that's the attitude you have to take to win. You know that your opponent isn't going to hold anything back, and you can't afford to either.
I'd love to know where you're coming up with this stuff, Cole, because it's sure not from personal experience, I know that. That was a heck of a match, Cole. I won't mind